All right, let's jump right in. Today, we are taking ice hockey, a game known for being this brutal, physical sport, and elevating it into an absolute masterclass of science. We'll be exploring an incredible explainer presented by Dr. Christophe Delong and Kinexa Formation, titled The Art of Speed and Precision.
You really have to think of hockey like a giant iceberg. There's the high-impact, fast-paced game everyone sees on the surface, but then there is this incredibly deep biomechanical and neurological science working just underneath the water.
So here is our game plan for today. We're going to cover 1. The fundamentals of the game, 2. Equipment and competitions, 3. The physics of contact, 4. The famous hockey IQ, 5. The neuromotor system, and wrap it all up with 6. The perfect balance.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the fundamentals of the game.
Now, the intensity out on the ice is just absolutely off the charts. Because of that, players only battle it out in these hyper-intense shifts of maybe 45 to 90 seconds. It's actually one of the very few sports where substitutions happen entirely on the fly, right in the middle of the action. So, staying physically fresh, that is a massive tactical weapon.
And the sport has evolved so rapidly over the years. It literally started with British soldiers adapting field games on frozen Canadian lakes back in the 19th century. That eventually led to the very first indoor match in Montreal in 1875. Fast forward to today, and it's this hyper-fast global phenomenon.
Moving right along to Section 2, Equipment and Competitions.
When you're moving at these crazy speeds, human bodies literally need armor out there. We're talking skates engineered without front picks, so players can make those brutal, frictionless stops. The puck itself is vulcanized rubber that's actually frozen beforehand to kill the bounce. Add in those high-tech composite sticks that whip like loaded springs, and you've got some serious kinetic energy.
And then you have the goalies. They take the skier to the absolute extreme. And honestly, can you blame them? They're tasked with throwing their bodies in front of a frozen object, flying at them at upwards of 160 kilometers per hour. That is just pure bravery, backed up by some incredibly engineered padding.
Which brings us to Section 3, the physics of contact.
So think about running for a second. When you run, carrying extra weight slows you down, right? Gravity creates drag. But physics works completely differently on a frictionless ice surface. Out there, once you build up momentum, having a heavier mass actually helps you maintain your inertia and keep your speed high.
To put that into perspective, that is exactly why your typical pro player weighs in at 90 kilograms or more. They use that mass to play big, leveraging their lower body to shield the puck and win those collisions through sheer, undeniable physics.
But look, even body checking isn't just some mindless violence. It's a highly regulated art form, a completely calculated tactical maneuver. You can only hit the puck carrier, never from behind, the head is strictly off limits, and you've got to keep those skates on the ice. It's incredibly precise.
Let's shift gears into Section 4, the famous hockey IQ.
There's this legendary philosophy, perfectly embodied by Wayne Gretzky. He famously said, skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it has been. And that just hits the nail on the head when it comes to hockey IQ. The game moves so insanely fast that if you're just reacting to what's happening right now, you are already too late. You literally have to live in the future.
Building that kind of IQ demands extreme peripheral vision. If you look down, you are going to get leveled. It requires you to instantly read the zone, to crack defensive systems. But the most mind-blowing part? Spatial dissociation. Your brain has to demand violent, explosive power from your legs to sprint, while simultaneously commanding incredibly soft, delicate precision from your hands. Throw in the mental resilience to stay calm while guys are physically provoking you, and you're basically looking at a cognitive superhuman.
Now let's dive deeper below the surface with Section 5, the neuromotor system.
This is where Dr. Delong and Kinexa Formation's insights really shine. Ice hockey is not just a muscle game. It's actually a masterclass in motor control under permanent instability. It relies entirely on a predictive brain. See, the game is way too fast for the prefrontal cortex to process everything consciously. So instead, elite players use their cerebellum and basal ganglia to simulate the future 200 to 500 milliseconds before it even happens. They are neurologically placing their bodies in the future.
And the secret weapon making all that possible? Proprioception. The player's brain is constantly reading microvariations in the ice through their ankles. It's adjusting their center of gravity in real time without them ever having to look down. It is a neurologically expensive task for sure, but a biomechanically perfect one.
All right,
Bringing it all together, Section 6, the perfect balance.
The ultimate training regimen is all about creating this perfect balance. Think of an elite player like a house. Technique, things like skating and stick handling, forms your solid foundational floor. Muscle and explosive power, that raises the ceiling of what's physically possible. But proprioception is the ultimate synthesis. It is the neurological glue that fuses the mind and the body together into one seamless machine.
And as Dr. Delong and Kinexa synthesize for us right here, hockey really isn't just brawn or just brains. It's a total neurobiomechanical integration. It relies on flawless kinetic chains to transfer power from the ice all the way up through the body, all while managing that controlled instability and executing those intelligent tactical collisions.
So here's my question for you. The next time you sit down to watch a game, are you just going to see the brutal physical collisions, or are you going to see the brilliant predictive brain working underneath it all? A huge thanks to Dr. Christophe Delong and Kinexa Formation for the insights in this explainer. It really makes you wonder, what other hidden sciences are driving the sports we love?